Hello and welcome to Back at Camp, Mojave County's only outdoor television show. I'm your host, Captain Don Martin, and on today's show I have a very special guest. I have Johnny Hoeft Sr., who is a world-class archery shooter, and he's going to tell us about all of his archery experiences over the years. So don't go away. We're going to be right back after a word from our sponsors. Welcome back to Back at Camp. I'm your host, Captain Don Martin. On today's show, I have a very special guest. This is Johnny Hoeft Sr. Johnny, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you.
Now, for those of you that don't know, this man here is a world-class archery shooter. He's been shooting archery for probably longer than a lot of you viewers have been alive. He's going to tell us what he's done over the years, how he's developed as an archer, and wait till you hear what he has won just this year. Now, Johnny, let's go back. When did you start bow hunting, bow shooting?
Started in about 1968.
Okay.
After I got back from Vietnam.
Okay. And how old are you?
I'm 68 years old.
68 years old. So you get back from the war and you decide you're going to take up archery.
Yes.
Okay. Now, where did you live at the time?
In Canal Fulton, Ohio.
Okay. So now I understand you actually had an archery range back there.
Yes, I did for 22 years.
Wow. And it was the largest outdoor archery range?
Indoor and outdoor.
Indoor, outdoor.
Yes, I had a field course set up for hunter and target, and I had 4,400 square foot archery range and pro shop.
Wow. So that's a pretty big place.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So, and what got your interest into archery?
I was duck hunting with a shotgun. And my high school wrestling coach called me and said, "You got to come over to the house and see what I've got." I said, "Well, I shot a couple ducks today." He said, "No, you got to see this." So I went over to his house, and there was a big deer hanging in his yard. I said, "Wow, this is fantastic." He said, "Well," I said, "What'd you shoot that with?" He said, "My bow." So he was bow hunting, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm sitting out there in the cold blind, duck hunting, snow, and I got two ducks. They're this big. And I look at him, and he's got a 200-pound plus deer hanging in the tree. I said, "This don't make much sense." So I bought my first bow off of him. It was a used Groves overdraw bow for $35.
Wow.
And back then, $35 was a lot.
Still a lot of money. Yeah.
I was only making about $90 a week, working 40 hours a week.
Wow.
So, like I say, that cut us a little bit thin, but that's what got me started.
Okay.
And he got me started. And I started shooting competition at a local archery club, bow hunter club there. And after I got in with that, then there was enough people, there was no place to shoot in the wintertime. So I said, well, I'm going to build an archery range. And that's what I did. I built an archery range. And like I said, we had that for 22 years. My wife run it in the daytime, and I run it in the evening. As I had my own construction company, I had my own roofing business for 20-some years.
There you go.
So when I got in from work from doing that, I went to the range, and she went to the house to take care of the kids.
Wow. So then, when did you come to Arizona?
Yeah, 26 years ago.
Wow. But all this time you've been shooting.
All this time I've been shooting.
Now you shoot. Do you shoot a compound?
I shoot a compound now. Yes, I do.
Okay. But you've used, when you started off, what kind of bow did you shoot?
I shot with a recurve bow.
Okay.
60 pound. It had an overdraw shelf on it because back then overdraw was a big thing. You could shoot a shorter arrow and get more speed. And the broadheads we had was MA3s basically, and you had to hand sharpen them with a whetstone and a file.
Wow.
And that's what you used. So
you've kind of, as over the years, have you changed your equipment?
Changed my equipment, but basically not my styles. I've been shooting instinctive, like I said, since 1968.
So you're not a guy that's got these scope sights and open sights, that pins and all that kind of stuff. You don't shoot that way.
I shoot with a tab on my hand and nothing on my bow.
Wow, no sights,
No sights,
no peeps.
no peep,
just
no clickers, nothing. Just I shoot like Fred Bear and Howard Hill did. You know, you just look at an object, you eye focus on it, you think small, you aim small, you miss small.
so you're what they call a traditionalist,
Basically.
basically.
Yep.
Okay. Now, over the years, you've been involved in not only indoor but outdoor competition, but you're also a bow hunter too.
Yes, I am.
And what kind of critters have you taken in the past when you've been archery hunting?
Well, I took my first deer with that Groves bow in 1969 in
Okay.
Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And after that, I think I shot 17 deer in Ohio with my bow. And I don't know, I can't remember how many I shot in Pennsylvania. I used to hunt in Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia, and Maryland. So it depended on this. I'd take own construction company, so when deer season come in August, I was gone. That was it. I had 22 people working for me, and they handled it, and I went hunting.
You went hunting. There
Yes,
you
I
go.
did.
So you've taken a lot of deer.
I've taken a lot of deer, and I've taken 5 cow elk in Arizona and 1 bull.
Wow.
A 6x6, I think he won about 310.
Wow. And this is all using, now when you're hunting, you don't use sights or anything like that either.
No, I don't.
So everything you do is basically instinctive shooting, and with no sights, no peeps, nothing.
It's true. And a gun hunter and a bow hunter are 2 different things. You know.
Yes.
You look at a gun hunter, he looks at that elk at 300 yards away and puts that 7mm on him, pops him, he's done. When you're bow hunting, you have to know the wind, you got to know where the wallers are, you got to know where the dirt tanks are, and so on and so forth. So the further away you can get away from people when you're hunting, bow hunting, the better you're off, because people drive round and round and round and round, and that scares the animals away. So they're actually pushing them to me.
So your philosophy is, as a bow hunter, is you go to the farthest places away from the roads where you have to hike in and hike out, and you get away from the people.
Yes, true. In Pennsylvania and Ohio, when I was hunting there, in the wintertime, it's snow underground. So I would walk till I didn't see any more tracks, and then walk another half hour.
Wow. And it paid off for you.
And it paid off for me.
Okay. Now, when did you start really getting serious about competition archery, where you're shooting competitively?
Probably about 1972 or 73.
Okay. Did you change your equipment?
No, that's when I started shooting. I was still shooting with a recurve bow. And about 1980, I had an archery range with a pro shop. I could buy stuff at cost. So that's when I bought my first bow, compound bow. It was a
Okay.
Jennings bow.
You bought a Jennings? Okay.
And I shot that for about 15 years before I bought another bow. And then I bought an Oneida Eagle. And it's a compound recurve bow. And then I shot that till 2005. And I was in West Virginia deer hunting. And, well, let me back up a second. I was in Arizona elk hunting, dropped my bow and didn't pay much attention to it. And I shot it at an elk and I missed it. Well, about 2 months later, I went to West Virginia deer hunting with my bow and got down there and I had twisted the limbs.
Oh boy.
So my buddy owned an indoor and outdoor archery range in West Virginia, and he said, well, I'll just sell you one of these at cost. So I'm still shooting my Bowtech Constitution that I bought in 2005.
Wow.
Stuart Bowman asked me, that runs the archery range in town here, he asked me, when are you going to buy a new bow? I keep telling him, I said, I haven't learned to shoot this one yet.
And you've had that since 2005?
2005.
Wow, no problems with it?
No problems with it. I keep, Bowtech has lifetime warranty on their bows. So if you crack a limb or break a limb, you just tell them and they send you a new set of limbs.
Wow.
Have Stewart put on new cables and strings at least once a year. You're supposed to do it every 2,000 shots. Well, when I'm getting ready for competition, I'm shooting 300 to 400 arrows a day, not all at once, because I own my own range. I'll go down and shoot 200 arrows, go back to the house, work, go back down, shoot 100. But I average about 400 arrows a day, 7 days a week.
How many arrows do you own?
Well, that's the good thing about it. If you shoot, you can just go pull your arrow and come back. It's not like that gun. You shoot that shell and you eject it, and you got to put in a new one, and it's gone forever.
Right.
If you shoot an archery and you're hitting the target, you just go pull your arrow out of the target and go shoot it again.
Well, see, that's the key, though, Johnny. If you hit the target.
Yes.
If you're somebody like me shooting a bow and you miss the target and the arrow hits a rock, that one's gone forever too.
Yes, especially in Arizona. You missed the target and it's gone.
Yes.
And I have missed a target.
You have occasionally?
Yes, I did.
Okay, but probably more than often you're hitting the target.
Pretty much so.
Okay.
If I have more than 3 blanks in a tournament, that's not a good thing.
Not a good thing. What kind of arrows do you shoot?
I shoot Carbon Express arrows, hunting arrows for outside and for hunting. Inside, inside I shoot Easton Eclipse arrows because they just fly better. Because inside I'm only shooting 20 yards.
Okay.
Outside I shoot from 5 to 100.
100 yards outside
Yeah,
bare
that was
bow?
one of my blanks this year. You get a 20 for the first arrow, and I missed it. I missed the whole target at 101 yards. And you get a 16 if you hit it on the second shot, which I did to hit the kill at 16.
At 101 yards.
101 yards.
Johnny, we're going to take a break here. Folks, what can you say? This man's a legend. He can shoot. Can you imagine shooting a bare bow at a target at 101 yards? I know guys with rifles that couldn't hit a target at 101 yards. We'll be right back after a word for our sponsors, so stay with us.
You know, just look down the line, to your right and left, you might be in the middle or on the end, and there's 550 shooters on the line.
At one time.
At one time.
Welcome back to Back at Camp. I'm your host, Captain Don Martin. And with me today, I have Johnny Hoeft, a legendary bow shooter whose accomplishments are just crazy. I mean, what can you say? The man's been shooting since 1968, and wait till you hear what he's done just this year. But Johnny, let's go back. Over the years, how many state championships have you won?
31.
31. And you've won championships in what, 4 states?
4 different states.
And what are those states?
Ohio, West Virginia, Arizona, and Nevada.
Wow. Now, you shoot now, you're 68 years old.
Correct.
So you shoot in the, what, the senior?
Silver senior.
Silver senior division, okay? Now, you're a member of the NFFA?
NFAA, yeah.
Okay, what is that?
National Field Archery Association.
Okay, so that's where you're affiliated with them, and that's who you do your shooting and kind of stuff with. Now, let's talk about 2014. It's starting January. What have you done for us in January, Johnny?
In January, I shot the Nevada State Indoor, and I won that.
In the senior bow hunter division?
In the senior bow hunter division.
And again, what do you shoot? Tell me what you're shooting to win the silver.
Okay,
silver.
I'm shooting a Vegas face target at 20 yards.
Okay.
Possible 300.
Okay.
And it's a 2-day shoot. You shoot 2 days, which is nice. You can have a good day one day and a bad day the next day, or hopefully you get 2 good days.
Right. And you're shooting this Bowtech Constitution?
Correct.
Bare, no sights?
No sights.
Okay. And so you win the Nevada You won the Nevada in the senior division. And how many people were shooting? How many do you?
Well,
compete against?
it's a mail-in. There's 7 different states, so
Okay.
you shoot in your own facility,
Okay.
and then it's mailed in, and they have a month to mail in the scores. Of course, it'd be since Hawaii's in our sectional, they aren't coming to Arizona or Nevada to shoot, so
Right.
that's why they have a mail-in.
Okay. Now, where did you shoot in Nevada?
I shot at Impact Archery.
Okay. Now, and I assume that these are designated official shooting ranges to be part of this competition.
Yeah, there's 2 scorers and a judge there, so the scores have to match on the cards. Okay.
So you don't just go in there and shoot and you sign a card and turn it in.
No, that don't happen.
That don't happen. There's people there that are scoring, and then there's a judge that verifies.
Correct.
Okay. So you win this indoor shoot,
Right.
right? Okay. Now in February, you have another shoot,
I had
the Southwest
I
section.
had the Southwest sectional.
And what does that entail? How many states are involved in that?
Okay, there's 7 different states,
Okay.
and it's a mail-in also.
Okay.
Okay, so back to the state. I might have messed up on that. The state, you shoot in the state only.
Right.
Okay, and it's Elko, Nevada, Las Vegas, Nevada, all over the state. There might be 15 different ranges
Okay.
that hold the state shoot.
Sure.
Okay, and
Sure.
it's a mail-in also.
Do you know how many people were in your division?
I think there was 17 in my division.
Okay. And that's the one and you won that.
I won that.
Okay. So now in February, first part of February, now you're at the Southwest sectionals, and that's now you're not just shooting from competitors in Nevada. You're shooting from everybody that's in the Southwest sectional.
7
right?
different states.
And those states are Utah, Nevada, Arizona, Colorado, Hawaii.
Right.
There's a whole bunch of them
Right.
that you're involved with. And how'd you do there?
I won that.
Won that again. Okay. So now you're not only was the best shooter in Nevada, but now you're the best shooter, top shooter in these
Southwest
in the Southwest sectionals. Now that's in February. So then after you get done with that, then there's a big tournament up in Vegas.
Yes.
What's that called?
That's the World Shoot.
The World Shoot in Las Vegas.
Not only is it for us, but it's the last leg of the World Cup,
Okay.
and that's where your Olympic archers and stuff compete.
Wow.
That's the final leg there.
Okay.
There was 2,835 shooters from 32 different countries, and there are 44 shooters in my class, and
From all over the world.
from all over the world.
These are seniors, senior male.
No, I'm shooting against, in the World Shoot, it's not like NFAA. You have to be an NFAA member to shoot it,
Okay.
but you shoot against anybody 18 years of age, which is an adult,
Right.
to infinity.
Wow.
So you might shoot against a guy at 22, one that's 18. It makes it a lot tougher because their eyes are better, they're in better
Sure.
physical shape. So this year I come in 22nd, and I faded a little bit because the year before I come in 17th. My goal is to be in the top 10, which I just keep working at it.
There you go. Well, hey,
So
you're learning, right?
I'm learning, and I shoot for the joy of shooting. I get out of bed in the morning and I thought, I'm retired. What am I going to do today? I know I'm going to shoot my bow today. If nothing else happens, I will shoot my bow today.
Right, right. So you're shooting against 18-year-olds, like you say, physically. They're more toned. They got better eyes than us old guys, and yet you're shooting against those guys.
Correct.
From all over the world.
Yeah, I shot with guys from Germany, Russia, France, Belgium.
Wow.
Germany. It's in. You can pull it up on the NFA sites, and it's an awe to shoot it. You know, just look down the line to your right and left. You might be in the middle or on the end, and there's 550 shooters on the line.
At one time.
At one time.
And now, are all these guys shooting bare bows, or are they shooting?
No, they shoot. There'll be guys with releases and guys with scopes and so on.
So they can use anything they want, but you choose to shoot the traditional.
Well, in this, it's all classed. If you shoot freestyle equipment, you're in a freestyle division.
Okay.
If you shoot bow hunter or bare bow class, you're in my division.
Okay, so that's what you weren't shooting against the guys with the scopes.
No.
So it was everybody that was shooting the bare bow thing, but they're from all over the world.
Right.
Okay. Now, when you got through with that, and you finished kind of in the middle of that pack from the world, okay. Now, then where'd you go in March?
In March, I went to Louisville, Kentucky.
What's that for?
I shot the indoor nationals in Louisville. And
was the World Nationals in Vegas, were those outdoor or indoor?
Indoor.
That was indoor.
Yeah, everything so far has been in indoor.
Okay, so now you're going to Louisville.
Now I went to Louisville, and it's a 2-day shoot. There was 1,572 or 73 shooters. 1/3 of those were youth, which is good for our archery program in the United States. So over 500 were youth or young adults.
Wow.
So it was a 2-day shoot there. Was one of the scorekeepers, which is not a good thing when you're under pressure. So I knew every time I was 6 points down on the first day. So I got that back on the first 2 targets. But you start getting a little bit tighter as the competition goes. So I'm watching. To make a long story short, I won the Nationals by 5 points.
Wow. And what'd you get for winning?
I got this for the Nationals.
Wow.
It's a nice bow.
That's pretty impressive, isn't it?
National Field Archery Association, and it's got Silver Senior Male Bow Hunter on it.
On March 15th and 16th, 2014.
Yep.
Wow. Well, congratulations on that.
Well, thank you.
Now, have you done anything since then?
Since then, I took a little bit of a break because now we're on outdoor courses where we shoot from 5 to 80 yards.
Okay.
And we shot
bare bow.
Bare bow, bow hunter division. Silver Senior, we're back to where you shoot in your own class and age group now. And I shot in May, the first weekend in May, which was the hottest weekend at Ben Avery.
In Phoenix.
In Phoenix. This year it was 105 and 107. 8 hours a day on the course. And I won that down there. I come in first down there.
You won the Arizona.
Yes.
Wow.
No, well, it's not Arizona. This is Southwest section.
Oh, the Southwest sectional.
Yeah, that's 7 states.
Oh, okay. There. So you won the whole sectionals
I
again.
won the whole sectionals again.
And that was the outdoor.
That was the outdoor. Yeah, this is for the indoor sectionals, and that's for the outdoor sectionals.
Look at this. Isn't that amazing? Wins the indoor sectionals and the outdoor sectionals. Wow, that's pretty impressive, folks. I don't think we have anybody in Kingman that can match that. Probably nobody in Arizona can match that.
I wanted to this year go shoot, be a Grand Slam since I'm on a real roll, and shoot the outdoor nationals in Yankton, South Dakota. But the federal government decided they want me to have jury duty, and that's a patriotic duty. So the whole month of July, I'm supposed to be on jury duty in Phoenix.
Oh boy.
So I'm putting all my effort together and getting all my gear together and getting ready to go elk hunting in 7 West on September the 13th.
So you drew an elk tag.
I drew an elk tag.
So besides being a heck of a target shooter, you're getting ready to go up there and chase the mighty wapiti around.
Pretty sure this one I'm chasing will go over 400.
So you know there's a good bull in there.
I know there's a good bull in there. This will be my second year on him.
And you've hiked in there.
We'll hike in there.
All right. Well, Johnny, that's all we have time for today. Buddy, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Good luck on that upcoming elk hunt. Folks, a living legend right here in Mojave County. And boy, does he ever shoot. Until next week, this is your host, Captain Don Martin, saying keep your firearms oiled, your bowstrings waxed, keep your fishing line fresh, and we'll see you next week on Back at Camp.